Hey folks, welcome back to Around the Yard. Today we got a little bit of wind going on, so we're filming inside the pole shed here, right in front of the bagging station. So I use the old C10 as kind of a staging area. Got the easy bagger over here, and I got my firewood tote off to my left. But in today's video, what we're going to cover is moisture meters. Now, I was fortunate enough, I had Erickhill reach out to me, and they wanted me to give their pinless moisture meter a test. So that's what we're going to do today. And I've got several pieces of wood that I pulled, one from my tote that I'm making bundles with. I've got some ash that was staged outside the shed that we just recently split. I went and pulled pieces from around the yard, from our maple stash, our box wedge stuff that we did. We did some ash probably a couple months ago now at least, so it's been seasoning a little while. Basically anywhere that I could find stuff, and then I've also pulled from a pretty wet pile. So we're gonna kind of run the gamut on everything. I've got, this is what I started with, so this is just a general moisture meter. You probably started with one of these, or maybe you still have this and this is what you use. Takes a couple batteries. It's got a real simple chart here on the back that tells you basically 0 to 12. 0 to 12% is low moisture, 12 to 16 is medium moisture, anything over 16 is high moisture. Most people in the firewood community are going to tell you that anything 20% and under is seasoned well enough to burn and burn pretty well. Anything sub 15 or sub 10 is gonna go like a matchstick. So this is gonna give you at least get you in the ballpark. If you're under 20, you're probably good to go with this. So after getting by with the General for a while, I saw some reviews on YouTube from various channels and whatnot, and they were talking about this guy. This is the TopTes moisture meter. You can find YouTube reviews all over the place on this guy. What I like about this is it's a digital display. It's color coordinated, so it's a little upgrade from the General. It'll flash you a big percentage of what the moisture is, just like this one will. This will color code it and say green is good, yellow is okay, red is bad. So you get that visual cue. If you can't quite see the numbers, you got some sunlight, something going on. This has got another option there. Not too dissimilar from the General. This will do masonry and walls and that kind of stuff. So you're not giving anything up. You're actually adding functionality when you go to the TopTes. The other kind of neat thing is it'll give you temperature and humidity and some other things. So that's the TopTes. But why we're really here is for this Erickhill. This is cool. I've been using this for a week. Testing various woods and walls and all masonry and everything around the house just to see how this thing does. This doesn't have any pins. This has got a sensor on the back that reads the moisture through this. So you place it flat on the surface of the wood, the wall, the block wall, whatever you want to measure, and it's going to take a reading through that. The directions say this is accurate, plus or minus 4%, which seems like kind of a big swing, but in the grand scheme of things, it's going to tell you whether it's wet, dry, or moderate. So let's get this turned on. We'll show you how this displays and what it does. What I found to be very helpful is it's got a chime system on it. So if it's beeping at you or sending out that chime, it means you have a wet piece of wood or a wet wall or something. So not only do you have the percentage, you'll see in a minute here, let's turn it on. So there's your percentage, nice white letters on a backlit. If I put my finger kind of on the sensor here, you can see this green, yellow, red bar even coming up. That's your visual cue, kind of like the TopTes, kind of like these other meters. And then you're getting that chime. That chime's telling you that, hey, this is really wet. As soon as I get to the red, or that orange line, that's when the chime starts. So I know that if I place this on here and I don't hear a chime, I'm in pretty good shape. So let's just show you that. So flat on the surface, we're reading 4%, but with a 4% factor of error, so plus or minus 4%, we know this isn't 0% moisture, but it might be as high as 8 or 9. That's still under 20 and ready to go in a fire pit, ready to go in a wood furnace, ready to go, you know, up for sale. You can see I have the setting set to hardwood. So there's a mode button down here. We can click through that. That's masonry brick. There's softwood. So that jumped the percentage to 8. And this is ash. So I wouldn't necessarily call this a softwood, but if we went 8 plus or minus 4%, I guess we're 8.8, 8.1, you know, we can call this 12 to 13%. This is still ready to burn. So by comparison's sake, let's fire up the top test. There we go. So there's the top test coming on. It's 47 degrees in the shed, just in case you guys were curious, and about 50% relative humidity. I'm gonna go to mode B, because I believe that's for ash on these. And then what you gotta do on the top test, and these other ones with pins, you gotta put some pressure on there. And now you can see we got about 10% moisture. So the top test was reading 4 to 8, give or take. We had our 4% factor, that's 8 to 12. We're right in the mix with a pin. So let's try this again on something else. So I got this piece of maple. So we'll try the top test first. There we go. All right, so the top test, you can see is visually, it's orange, and it's reading 14.2, 14.3%. 14.1 looks like where it's holding out. I think the pins are starting to get a little loose, and that's why it's changing color and dropping in percentage. Now we're going to try the Erickhill, same spot. Change the mode. Let's see here. Let's go here. So the Erickhill on hardwood, which this is maple, so this isn't hard, is off the charts. We're going to go down to, oops, went past it. Softwood also isn't registering. This was just split not too long ago. It was just sitting in the rain too. So there we go. There's 26.8%. So this is probably still a little bit wet, but I know I just split this not too long ago. So, all right, we just had a wood delivery. My tree service dropped off here, so you guys heard that truck revving in the background. We'll see how much of that makes it in, but we'll take you out and show you the maple that just got dropped off. But in the meantime, let's get back to these moisture meters. So we got a wet piece of maple here. So this is nice. This piece came out of the firewood tote here that we're making bundles with. So let's give this a try here. So we'll do our control on the top test. This is the part about the pins that I don't really enjoy. Is in order to get a good reading, you got to get them in there solid. Even when they're solid. So there's 8.6. We're green, ready to burn. Now, go to the Erickhill. And let's see, let's go down to, well, we'll do softwood first just to show you guys. So softwood is reading 13.1. Even if we add 4% to that, we're at 16. That's still good to go. If we subtract 4%, we're down to 9%. We're even better. Let's go down to the hardwood mode. Now we're at 6.8%. You could subtract 4 and get down to 3 or so. 2.83, or you could add 4 and get to 10.8, 11. If I add 4, get to 11, I'm pretty close to what the TopTes was doing. So I think that's kind of the control here, is whatever the Erickhill reads, you add 4. That seems to work. I trust that this is about 10% moisture and ready to go. I also know that because I've had it seasoning for a year. So I really like the simplicity of this, guys. I thought, you know, here's the 2 pin marks. Hang on, I gotta shut that door. Here's the pin marks from the TopTes, right here and here. I think I had it going the other direction here for a second. So there's three little prongs, or there's the 4th one. So we have these 2 and these 2, or these 2 and these 2. That's how you get the reading. And this is, set it up there, add 3 or 4%, 5% if you want to, but the directions say 4 plus or minus, and you're good to go. It's that easy. There's no pushing pins and trying to make it work. It's just grab something and see what it does. Just for comparison here, I'm gonna grab this maple. Has been getting rained on for probably the better part of the last week or so. If I set this on here, there we go. So that's good contact. We're running 29.9%. It's wet. It's also giving us a chime to let us know that, hey, this is high moisture content. If I run somewhere else that was maybe covered up a little bit better, 14.9, we add our 4%, we're at 18.9, 19%. To me, this isn't ready to burn. One, because this is saying it's too high to burn, too high a percentage. And if we add our 4% down here, we're at almost 20. That's just not good enough for me. Let's double check with the TopTes. Again, guys, you gotta press really hard to make this work. All right, I'm trying to bring you in here. I'm trying to push down without smashing my fingers, but the TopTes is reading 17.9, 16.5. The harder I press, the more moisture content is there. I'm letting off now, and the pins are starting to kind of come out of the wood, and the moisture is dropping because the connectivity isn't quite as good. See how that's working? Whoop, and there, I just pulled the pin out. Now we're low again. So if I go there, depending on how you seat the pins, you might get 13.9, 14%. It's still changing color, letting you know that that's maybe a little bit high moisture, but this would fool you. Whereas if you push down, I can make this keep going up. So now that I have both, I prefer the Erickhill. This is what I'm going to keep using. Just wanted to show you guys that. We like this sensor. I'm going to add 4 or 5% just to be safe. That 5%, that extra 1 is just going to be for me, just to make sure that we're good and dry. What I've kind of been doing with the TopTes, I've got 2 of these. So I bought one with all the hype that was on YouTube, and then I managed to win a drawing on Old Guy Firewood for another one. So I keep one with the log splitter, and I keep one with the bagging station. The old trusty General, this stays in the lean-to where my miter box is and the chainsaws. I want to test something that's close to the door, kind of like tape measures. I've got them all over the place. This is another one that just kind of hangs out someplace close, so it's an easy grab. Easy to read, it's backlit. I like this. This is going to be my go-to, so this is going to be the one that stays in my pocket. These other 2 or 3 are going to be around and they'll get fair use, but this is going to be it. This is way simpler. You can take a piece of wood, hold it up, add 5%, it's at 10, we're good to go. Try a different side here. The other thing you can do is slide this around. See if you get a different reading out at the end versus in the middle versus at the other end. 3.2. You can even put it on the face. 5% on that end. 5.8% on the other end. You know, you can't do it that quickly with any of the pinned moisture meters. You can't slide that around. It doesn't. You have to physically set the pins and then get your reading. The other thing I don't like about these pin models is in order to get enough pressure on these, the unit has to be upside down. So, grab another piece of maple here. So, I can grab a piece, really wedge that in there to show you guys. Okay, it's 20.5%. That's wet. All right, now I'm gonna go off the end. Again, you gotta hold the piece of wood nice and tight. There's 24, 23.9, 25.0. That's a wet piece of maple. Okay. Erickhill. Hey, it's wet. It's not even gonna give me a reading. There was 37%. There's 28. All I have to do is hold the piece of wood, hold the moisture meter to it, and we get a pretty good reading. Now, yes, it's maybe 4% off, like they say, but I already know that this is above 20. The TopTes told me so. This is confirming it. This is way less effort, way less work. 29.9 in the end, just like the TopTes. 27.451, whatever. It's wet. This isn't ready to go yet. This is going back in the bin for drying. So the maple's not ready to go. A lot of the ash is ready to go. That's what we're going to keep bundling. That's what we're going to keep selling at the roadside stand. Look in the description down below. I'll have a coupon code for these, or where you can purchase them. I do believe they're available on Amazon, but I'm going to try and get you guys a coupon code to use, maybe get some percentage off on it. But these are slick. Yeah, I really can't say enough good things about them. Hope you guys pick one up. Let me know what you think, and we'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day around the yard. I was just looking at that, and I think I maybe had the hardwood mode on the last part, but so I swapped it over to softwood here real quick. 50%, 50%, you know, off the end here, 47, 50%, 44, 45%. This is heavy. This isn't dry. I know it isn't dry. We just split it. It was wet when we split it. There's moisture wringing out of it. So again, it's going to give you a pretty true reading. Read the directions, but I like that audio. I like that it's backlit. You know, Here's your options. What do you guys like looking at better? And there's many more options than this too, but to me these are the go-tos. If you want a pinned one, TopTes is a pretty good brand. If you want to go pinless, save yourself the hassle of the pins, Erickhill. So, all right, folks, have a great day around the yard. We'll catch you on the next one. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment down below. Love to hear what you guys' thoughts are on any of these moisture meters or what you're using. So let me know. I'll respond to everybody. Still enjoying this, so thank you very much. All right, well, it's not windy. I'm gonna apologize for the wind right now. But this is the load of maple that the tree service just dropped off. There's a couple big logs in here. This will make some good wood. Looks like the woodpeckers already got to it. I gotta get the machine out and clear the one out of the driveway so the wife doesn't get mad. But yeah, this is what we got left to do. A little pile there. And then here's the rounds that I've been working on. This pile's about 5 feet high and 20 feet deep.